Introducing the 6'3" power forward, Slam Dunk.
That's my name, that's my game, that's my fame. Slam Dunk doesn't need an introduction because everybody should remember Slam Dunk. Slam Dunk was Defensive Player of the Year, #3 in rebounding, and I dominated everybody in the ring. Slam Dunk, don't you ever, ever forget it. I slam.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Mike Rand Show. And today's special guest is from WOW, Women of Wrestling. You know her as Slam Dunk. Hey Slam, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, Mike?
Great. We're so happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. It's been a long time.
Yep, everybody's dying to see this show. You got lots of fans out there. They're so excited when they heard Slam Dunk's coming on. Boy, I was flooded with messages.
I gotta tell you, Slam Dunk has some of the most amazing fans. I love my Slam Dunk fans.
So tell us, how did you get started in WOW Women of Wrestling and wrestling in general?
Okay, well, my agent actually sent me on the audition, but they told me I was going to audition to be a superhero. So I was going for a TV series to be a superhero. Now, who doesn't want to do that, right? And it wasn't until I actually got to the audition that I found out that it was to be a professional wrestler on a TV show. But A, I'm athletic. B, I was an actor. I still am, do a little bit here and there. And C, it was going to be in front of a live audience. What more could I ask for? And growing up, I watched wrestling on Saturday mornings with my dad. I remember Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, who was one of my favorites, who did a lot of this, which Slam Dunk did a lot of, wanting to hear the audience. So I was hype about it. And then, it was a long audition process, but I enjoyed every second of it.
Who do you remember from that audition process? Were there any of the girls that made it onto the actual television show that you remember auditioning with? And did you
know what? No, I don't think any of the girls that were the final cast was at any of the auditions, although I do remember around the last few auditions before they made the final cut and chose all the girls, I became real tight with Danger. So her and I bonded immediately. And so I remember her at the last few auditions. And then once the show started, her and I were tight as could be.
What was that audition process like, and what was your training like once you got into the show?
It was pretty intense. I mean, I did play a little bit of college ball, so I'm used to training hard, but we were trained pretty much all day. They taught us, I have a son now who tries to say, he has his opinion about wrestling, and I tell him it's stunt work. I mean, it's basically stunt work. We were learning how to run the ropes. So I was coming home every day with bruises on my arms. We were learning how to do bumps, all this stuff, learning the lingo that I've never, knew before. Selena Majors was basically taking us through everything, her and Peggy. And we would run, I remember at the Great Western Forum, we would do warm-up laps around the top, of where the Lakers played back in the day. And then we would get into it and just train every day. And we would get in the weight room too. I loved it. It was fun.
Was there ever any point when you were in the audition process or once you came on board to the show that you were concerned about possibly getting an injury or getting hurt in the ring?
You know what? I didn't feel that way because they trained us so good that we learned exactly how to take a bump, where to place a foot. Like, for example, one of Slam Dunk's biggest things was the big boot. I love that, where they'd run at me and I'd knock them down and kick them. Well, that would hurt in real life, right? Like if you didn't know what you were doing. So teaching us the proper way to do things, I never once felt scared at all about doing anything.
So you had mentioned that you were athletic growing up. What kind of sports did you play and what kind of things did you do that prepared you for wrestling?
Well, mental toughness you have to have when you play college basketball. You're dealing with a whole different game. You're dealing with girls that are bigger than you. I used to be the giant in high school, then I got to college and I was average, around other athletes. So that prepared me being a collegiate athlete. And then just growing up my whole life, I was always into fitness. And also I ran a little bit of track. So that kind of training got me ready for the mental toughness that I had to have for the athletic part of it.
How was your character of Slam Dunk created? Did you get to create that character, or was that something they had in mind for you?
Well, they knew they wanted me to be a former WNBA player. And what was perfect is that we were right there at the Forum. So why not have it be Laker colors? And I'm diehard Laker fan since I was a kid. I mean, I am diehard. So I was excited about that. And then they didn't quite know, are we going to make her a baby face or are we going to make her a heel? So they gave me, because most of the promo shots early on were of me smiling, no attitude being thrown, just smiling. And then they gave me a few things to go off of. And after they gave that to me in the first episode, I just went with it. And I was cocky. I'm the best. The WNBA wishes I was still in it. And they said, this is it. You're a heel. I said, okay, sounds good to me. And then the fans, you suck. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Tell me more. It was great.
And did you get to pick that outfit and the number on the jersey? Because you had 00, or was that something they had for you?
Oh, they had that for me. They picked out the number. I loved my little top. I loved my outfit. It was chill. I mean, I got to wear comfortable shorts, so I didn't have to wear the booty shorts. I got to wear comfortable shorts, and I loved the top. They designed everything. I had no say on what I was wearing.
And you also had the experience of working and meeting Jeannie Buss, because she manages the Los Angeles Lakers. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was very excited about that because, of course, if you're a diehard Laker fan since you're a kid, and then you find out who's one of the people behind our show, Jeannie Buss, I mean, how excited are you, right? So she was very, very gracious, very nice. I mean, I didn't really have a lot of time to sit down and talk with her because we were busy training and learning our lines and all that, but it was an honor to have her back. Wow, it was amazing.
And you had many opponents in the ring. So I want to take this time right now to talk about some of the matches and some of the people you got to wrestle and work with. So the first person I want to ask you about is actually the team of Sandy and Summer, the Beach Patrol. You wrestled them on separate occasions. Can you tell us how it was like wrestling those two?
Well, it was easy. You see how easily I beat them. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Slam Dunk coming out. It was fun, they were both sweethearts, behind the scenes, and I enjoyed it. Of course, I'm wrestling them, but everybody's going to be cheering for them. Who doesn't love the Baywatch looking girls, and then here I come out here and they're like, no, don't mess up their hair. And so it was a lot of fun because of such the contrast of everybody loves them, so everybody hates me. And so I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the fan reaction from it.
And another group of opponents that you went up against was Jade and Lotus. And that was actually a handicap match that you did.
That will go down as my favorite match I have ever done in my WoW career. The Asian Invasion, that was so much fun. I enjoyed that. That is the match that everybody watches the most. When people find out, that I did WoW, they love to watch that match. And then they're like, oh, I'm not messing with you. You better not mess with me. But yeah, I mean, and what's funny is both of them were sweethearts behind the scene. Jeannie and I stayed in touch for a very long time that played Lotus. And I mean, it was a lot of fun. I loved the whole sneak attack, where I'm doing my usual trash talk and then here they come from behind. And that match gave me life. That was my favorite. That will go down as my very favorite match ever.
And then you had a big feud with Roxy Powers at the pay-per-view, and you did a scrap match with her. Tell us about that.
Let me tell you how hard that was, because her and I are friends. I still talk to her behind the scenes. And then, I got to turn up because I'm supposed to hate her. And everybody loves Roxy. Once again, Roxy. So that was a good one. The feud we had that pay-per-view with the strap match. And that was pretty intense because, as everybody knows, I took pride in the fact that I was undefeated. Nobody could beat Slam Dunk. I beat 2 people. Give me 3 people, right? And then all of a sudden, here comes Roxy talking her mess, getting in the ring with me, and then it was a draw. That was upsetting. So yeah, that was a good feud. That was a really good feud.
And then another one you wrestled was Boom Boom.
Yes, Boom Boom. Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun too. Once again, behind the scenes, sweetheart, awesome. You know, everybody was cool because I'm like, you know, I'm gonna talk mess to you because you know I'm gonna go off script. So just be prepared. So, but yeah, that was a pretty good match too because you never know until they tell you, you know the game of wrestling. How's it gonna end? Well, you know, of course, at this point, I'm like, I know I'm winning, right? So it was awesome. She was a really cool person to work with. And I enjoyed working with her a lot.
Another one you wrestled was Tanja the Warrior Woman.
Yes. Now that one was good because her and I were very close in height. So she was tall. So that was a good one. And you know, her sister was one of the wrestlers on the show too. So I don't know if you know that.
Sister, I didn't know that.
You didn't know Ice Cold.
I did
yes.
not. I did not know that.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun because you know Tanja, the warrior princess, was the good girl, and then her sister was the heel. You know. So of course, you know, we're not supposed to like her, and she was a sweetheart. But I had fun wrestling her a lot too. She was good to wrestle. But can I tell you what will go down as one of my most memorable matches too? Solo matches. Jane Blonde. I think that might have been my very first match in the ring for WoW was against Jane Blonde. So that was a good one too because you know she was getting her opportunity, looking like she was about to stomp on me, right? And then I got my win at the end. So she was good to work with.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you about Jane Blonde.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so many great matches, like I said. Now, unfortunately, you didn't have the chance to wrestle everybody. I would have loved, I'm not gonna tell you who yet. I wanna see if we're on the same page, but if you had to pick one wrestler who you didn't get to wrestle, who would you have wanted to wrestle?
I was nonstop saying, when do I get Terry Gold?
Exactly.
When does Slam Dunk get Terry? Right? When does Slam Dunk get Terry Gold? I never got Terry Gold. That is the match I would have loved to have had because she was so athletic, right? She did her back flips. Everybody loved her. And so since everybody loved her so much, I had to wrestle her, right? Slam Dunk, who everybody hates, needs to get in there with the person everybody loves. So that I was bummed that I did not get a chance to wrestle her in the ring.
Yeah, because you even called her out in a match, and I was thinking maybe they were just kind of building you up there to have a defeated streak so that you go against Terry, but it never unfortunately happened.
Yeah, I would have really looked forward to that. I was hoping I was going to get my chance. I was waiting for it every week. I'm like, do I get Terry? Do I get Terry? So yeah.
And then another great couple of people that I thought would have been great to see you against just because of their gimmick as well was Team Spirit, Randy Rah-Rah and Patty Pizzazz, Patty Pep, if you got to wrestle those two.
That would have been amazing, right? Why not have the former WNBA player, why not have the baller wrestle the cheerleaders? And I would have had so much to say too, because of them being cheerleaders. You know, I would have been like, I demand a cheer for me after I beat you. You know, I would have loved that opportunity. That would have been great. That's a good, you know, I didn't even think about that one, Mike. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That would have been a great idea. Yeah.
And then you did call out Muhammad Ali's daughter, Layla. Tell us about that.
Yes. Oh, I was hoping I was going to get the opportunity. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous. I'm like, okay, are they not telling me something? I'm going to call her out. Is she going to come out from behind me and surprise me? And we're just going to go with this. But yeah, they told me that I was going to get an opportunity to call her out, but nothing ever came of it. So, but that was awesome. I loved being able to call her out because that would have been good. They could have done that to me too. I mean, I would have went with it if they had brought her out, unbeknownst to me.
I know. I was waiting for her to come out. I thought that was going to happen one week.
Yeah, that would have been good.
What was your favorite move to do in the ring? You had mentioned the big boot before. Was that your favorite move to do? Or was
the slam dunk, which is AKA also known as the choke slam. Oh my gosh. I loved doing, actually I have two. Can I tell you my two? I love the slam dunk which was the choke slam, because I love being able to just throw them down. And then my other one was the leg drop. I loved going off the ropes and just doing the leg drop. That was a lot of fun too. So those are my two favorites.
And we're completely on sync here because my next question actually is all three of those moves, the big boot, the leg drop, and the choke slam. If you had to choose those three and your three opponents were Roxy Powers, Summer, and Tanja, who would you do what move to?
Okay, the big boot would be Tanja, for sure, because it'd be great just kicking somebody back. That's my height, right? Close to my height. You said Roxy, and did you say Boom Boom?
I said Summer.
Summer, excuse me. Okay, so Summer would be for sure the leg drop, big time. I would try to get as high as I possibly could in the air and drop that leg down on that girl's throat. And then, I would have to do the slam dunk, the choke slam on Roxy, right? I would have to. So I would love to have it in that order. So yeah, slam dunk, choke slam on Roxy, leg drop on Summer, and the big boot on Tanja.
Yeah, and if anybody hasn't seen Slam Dunk in action, you need to go on YouTube and check her out, especially when she does her choke slam. It's amazing to watch, especially against Roxy when you did it on her.
Thank you.
Now, another thing that you were great at, you had to be one of the best ones at doing promos in the ring, whether it be speaking on the mic or talking off camera to Julie Day. Tell us how it was like doing those promos.
Oh, I live for those. I loved doing those promos. The thing about me and promos, though, is you almost got to yank the mic out of my hand because I would know what I was going to say, but then I'm the queen of just ad-lib for days because I get into the moment. How does Slam Dunk feel right now? Well, Slam Dunk feels like this, so she's going to go with this. And so I loved it. Julie Day was so much fun because she's so little. So I loved being able to stand up on her and use my height, on her to intimidate her and get a reaction because she was the queen of, she's so scared, which she should have been, right? She should have been scared. And then I just loved being able to talk to the camera and talk mess. What I really enjoyed is every time I got the opportunity to yank the microphone out of David McLean's hand. That gave me life. I might have even given him a chest bump too. So that I enjoyed, getting that microphone in my hand and keeping it in my hand until they said, okay, Slam Dunk, it's time to start wrestling.
What type of match would you have liked to have seen WoW do that you didn't have the chance to do, or no one in WoW, it just wasn't around back then?
Well, let's see. We did, I think someone did go, Danger did a table. So she went through a table. I can't think of anything. I mean, well, here's something that Slam Dunk would have enjoyed. I would have enjoyed wrestling 3 people. That's something that, we never did. That would have been fun. Or let me use and take advantage of the ref a little bit more. Because that was fun for me. I would have liked to have been able to really get the ref and get him rolled. So after I got through wrestling 2 people in a handicap, now let me take care of the ref and let's call it a day. That's what I would have loved to do.
What would you say is the biggest thing you learned from your time at WoW?
I learned how being being a member of the WoW cast, which was everything. I absolutely loved it. I'm sorry, ask me your question one more time. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry.
What was the biggest thing that you would say you learned from your time at WoW?
I learned how to deal with the live audience because you never knew what was going to happen or what was going to, so being able to trusting the audience, right? Because as soon as my Slam Dunk music came on, I could hear the boos. I could hear just the craziness of the crowd. And that is one thing I learned is how to go with it, how to go with that live interaction. Because, theater, you can react from an audience, but when it's a lot, when you're a wrestler and you're getting response and reactions from the crowd, you've got to go with it. So that's one thing I learned. I learned how to be able to go with it if, let's say, a particular match The person didn't really remember what was next, how to just keep going with it so that no one realizes that in the audience or at home. So if anything, I learned how to wing it. That was the one thing I learned the most from WOW. And just the experience was amazing. I had so much fun. The fans were absolutely amazing. The opportunities of being able to, you know, promote Slam Dunk and promote WOW was everything.
And now you also mentioned that you do some acting. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my main thing was television commercials. But now that I've moved from Cali and now I'm an AZ girl, I actually do television work. And so, but what I am is I'm a TV fitness expert. So my business, I own my own business where I change lives and touch souls through the power of fitness. It's called Listen Girls Fitness. And every month I'm on the local news here as a TV fitness expert. So I give tips and advice. And I have one of my biggest pride and joys, if I can just throw this in here. My son, who is a National Junior Olympic two-time All-American for track and field, and I train him. So he's like my best calling card because he's been on that national stage. He's got that silver medal, and we're kind of a mom-son team. He goes on my TV fitness expert segments all the time. So we're like, I talk, he demonstrates, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the lightning round, where I'm gonna name you a couple things and you tell me which one you prefer. So,
okay.
You prefer fruits or vegetables?
Fruits.
Fire or ice?
Ice.
Frozen yogurt or ice cream?
Froyo.
Books or magazines?
Magazines.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
A digital watch or an analog watch?
Digital.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
Morning, I get up at 3:30.
Phone or computer?
Phone.
Silver or gold?
Silver.
80s or 90s?
90s.
And which is more scarier between these three? Lions, tigers, or bears?
Bears.
Awesome. And now, is there anything you'd like to say to all the fans who are watching you today?
I would like to say, I want to thank you all so much for being such loyal Slam Dunk fans. I will say, I'm sure everybody feels this way, but I truly feel like I have the best Slam Dunk, I have the best fans ever. I mean, from sending me a t-shirt with Slam Dunk on a Wheaties box, which is an amazing thing to get from a fan, to just the constant love that people still show, like 20 years later. It's amazing. So I just want to thank everybody for caring to watch this interview and for caring to reach out to me and just tell me how much you enjoyed my character Slam Dunk. Thank you so much.
And how can anybody get in contact with you if they'd like to follow you and see what you're up to?
They can hit me up. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm pretty active there. Fit Diva Famisha. If you do want to check out my fitness business, you can check out my website at Listen Girls Fitness. And I'm also on Facebook at Famisha Lapri J-Millman.
Okay, awesome. And we'll put those links up at the end of this broadcast. Thank you so much for being here. I had a blast.
Thank you. So did I.
And thank you, everybody, for watching today. And we'll see you next time with some more great interviews. Thanks, everybody. Bye, everybody.